You ever made excuses for anything? Yeah? You guys have done that too? As often as I can? All right, well, you're honest. That's good. I heard a great, I don't know what it is, saying, I guess it is, a few years back. It says, if your excuses are making you useless, stop making useless excuses. One more time. You'll hear it more than once during this sermon, but if your excuses are making you useless, stop making useless excuses. Can everybody hear me without a microphone on just fine?
Yeah.
Okay, because I'll put one on if you want me to, but it's an intimate feeling family get together today, so I wasn't too worried about it. Sometimes, maybe you've never done this before, but on occasion, I have spent more time trying to either find or make up an excuse than it would have been to actually do it. You ever had that problem? All right, we got a few winners here. All right. Other times, I don't do something, all right, and then I give myself excuses for why I couldn't do it or why it didn't get done, and it's the same thing that I wouldn't let anyone else get by with. You ever do that? You're like, do as I say, not as I do. Now, all right. We're all together on this one. All right. So excuses, sometimes I do things that I shouldn't, or sometimes I don't do things that I should. And I give myself excuses or outs all the time, or I make excuses to other people. All right. I think we're fairly human here on this one, right? We all kind of tend to maybe do that on occasion. All right. So somebody, or you guys, give me a list of the classic excuses. Somebody throw an excuse out.
Dog ate my homework.
Dog ate my homework. Excellent. I knew that was coming. Sweet. I have a dog. I don't have any homework, so I can't use that one. Somebody give me another one.
Small homework.
Too sick to go to work.
Too sick to go to work. Yeah. I'm not feeling too well today. Yeah. My dad.
No, I forgot.
I forgot. Oh, sweet. I love that one. I don't know. You know. All right, give me another one.
He said it, not me.
What else can you think of?
He said it, not me.
I'm too busy. He said it, not me. All right.
I'm too tired.
What's that?
Already made
Already made plans, right? Okay.
I'm too tired.
Too tired?
I'm doing my hair.
I'm doing my hair. Yeah, I know you have a problem. That was good, man. That was awesome. What else?
Have flat tires.
Flat
car
tire.
trouble.
Yeah, I have a flat tire actually. It's kind of fun.
Oh.
Good. Do you really? Wow. It's like that one of those days, isn't it? What else?
I had a flat tire.
Okay, we had that one. Yep, up here exactly. I'm using that one today, so that's good. What else we got? Anything else you can think of?
I was too busy looking for something I shouldn't have.
Okay, all right. Sweet. I love, somewhere along the line, somewhere the other day, and it wasn't an excuse, obviously, but they just said, I didn't want to. I was like, finally, someone was honest, you know? I just plain didn't want to do it. Okay, great. I overslept.
The alarm clock didn't go off.
The alarm clock didn't go off. Yeah,
My brother
exactly.
did it.
What's that?
My brother did it.
My brother did it? Yeah. That may just be a bald-faced lie. That may not be an excuse. I don't know.
What about the devil made me do it?
The devil made me do it. That's a good one. That's a good one. These are all good excuses. I remember the other day, it was kind of funny. My daughter came to me and she said, can one of her friends go do something with us? And I was like, well, I don't see why not, you know. And she said, well, I really don't want her to, so you need to say no. and so I'm like sitting there going, okay, what excuse can I give this girl? You know, it's not trying to be mean, you know, because she's a nice girl, you know. And I thought, what can I do? And finally I just thought, oh yeah, you know, I'm kind of working on excuse sermons here. I just said, well, just tell her no. I said no, you know. So we didn't give an excuse. We let our yes be yes and our no be no. And I don't know if it made her mad or not. I haven't seen her again, but no, I'm just but it was just one of those things. Well, this morning we're going to look at a guy who was called to do something spectacular by God. He was called, and of course we're in this weird because normal isn't working, and it's normal to make excuses, right? I mean, if you called your boss and you just said, I'm not coming to work today because I don't want to. He probably wouldn't be kindly with that, right? But if you're going, he knows you didn't come to work because you didn't want to. He knows you're not sick, right? But he's going, all right, well, at least he come up with a good excuse, right? I hate it. I had a guy one time, he didn't show up for 3 days. And then he called me and said, I'm in Seattle, my grandmother died. I'm thinking, okay, you know, that's logical. She lives in Seattle. She died. They ran out there. Well, he called me a couple weeks later. He didn't show up again, and his grandma died again. See, you got to work. You got to work after his excuses. But anyway, this gentleman, the normal thing is to make excuses. The normal thing is not to do. The Bible actually says, "Let your yes be yes and your no be no," and that should be enough. But even in our Christian circles, we don't let that be enough, do we? Why didn't you come last Wednesday night? And we didn't even have anything last Wednesday night. But I didn't get off work till late. You could. If somebody said, well, I just didn't want to come, you think, wow, that's terrible. But the Bible says, let your yes be yes and your no be no. But God called, and we're looking at Moses this morning. You guys ever heard of Moses? Mm-hmm. His story starts pretty much in Exodus is all about him. But we're going to start in chapter 3, verse 10 of Exodus, or 3, verse 1, kind of talking about how God called Moses to do this extraordinary thing. Does anybody, if you have those, if you have a Bible or you want to turn there, again, it's Exodus chapter 3, starting in verse 1, and I don't know what page it's on, but we'll find it here in a second. Exodus chapter 3, verse 1 is on page 40, if you have one of those, so if anybody wants one. And this is kind of Moses and the burning bush. You've heard of that story before where Moses, right? All right, so now Moses was tending the flock to Jethro, his father-in-law, the priest of Midian, and he led the flock to the far side of the desert and came to Horeb, the mountain of God. And there the angel of the Lord appeared to him in flames of fire from within the bush. And Moses saw that though the bush was on fire, it did not burn up. So Moses thought, I'll go over and see this strange sight, why this bush does not burn up. When the Lord saw that he had gone over to look, God called to him from within the bush, Moses, Moses. And Moses said, here I am. Don't come any closer, God said. Take off your sandals, for the place where you are standing is holy ground. Then he said, I am God. I am the God of your father, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. At this Moses hid his face because he was afraid to look at God. And the Lord said, I have indeed seen the misery of my people in Egypt. I have heard them crying out because of their slave drivers, and I am concerned about their suffering. So I have come down to rescue them from the hand of the Egyptians, and to bring them up out of the land into a good and spacious land, a land flowing with milk and honey, the home of the Canaanites, Hittites, Amorites, Perizzites, Hivites, Jebusites. And now the cry of the Israelites has reached me, and I have seen the way the Egyptians are oppressing them. So now go. I am sending you to Pharaoh to bring my people, the Israelites, out of Egypt. Now that's about 4 million people. I don't know about you, but if God came to me and I get the burning bush and it's on fire and it's not burning up and I'm on holy ground, but God saying to me or to you, can you imagine God just showing up one day while you're out doing your job and says, by the way, I've got 4 million people about, I don't know how far a walk it was. It's quite a ways. So let's say I've got 4 million people in North Carolina, and I need you to bring them from North Carolina to Missouri. Would you feel confident and comfortable in doing that? I mean, it may only have been 2 million people. There's somewhere in between the two. But let's just say, let's go 4 million people. So I got 4 million people, about the amount of people who live in the Kansas City metro area. From, clear over to, the end of Lee Summit or Green Valley to Tonganoxie or almost Lawrence. All right, 4 million people. And I need you to bring them from this place over here. Not only that, but they're slaves to some of the most powerful people we know. It'd make you kind of a little nervous about that job, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd feel a little inadequate. So Moses does what most of us, I'm not saying all of us, but what most of us would do, right? Moses makes excuses. I love it. At least, he's a normal, everyday guy. God comes to me and says, you got 4 million people here. I'm going, there is absolutely no way, God, 4 million people are going to follow me. Who's going to follow me, right? Or, God, how in the world would I feed 4 million people from North Carolina to Missouri? Or get the gas money or whatever. I'd be saying, God, there's no way we can do this. This just doesn't work. You need to call Billy Graham, or maybe you could call, someone else, and maybe Joel Osteen could get 4 million people, from over there to over here. Some, I don't know, John Hagee, or whatever. But not me. I couldn't do that. And I love Moses for that, because he's saying, man, I just don't think I can do it. So Moses comes up with 4 excuses, and every time he comes up with an excuse, God says, oh, no, let me give you an answer to that. So the first excuse in Exodus 3:11, but Moses said to God, "Who am I that I should go to Pharaoh and bring the Israelites out of Egypt?" God, you understand that I am a shepherd on the far side of the desert, hanging out. Who am I to go lead these people out? I mean, they already have people who are in control or in charge. I can't do that. And God says, "Okay, Moses, I understand. We'll just send someone else," right? No, of course not. Otherwise, we wouldn't be talking about the story. Otherwise, it wouldn't be weird because normal isn't working. That would be normal, right? We give ourselves an out. We say, "Okay, God, I can't do this." We don't listen. La, 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 la. Well, God didn't say anything, so he must have picked somebody else, right? All right, anyway. So God gives him an answer, and God says, "I will be with you." Doesn't matter who you are, right? I will be with you. And if the God of the universe, the one who created it all, the one who made man and made me in his image, if the God of the universe who created it all is going to go with me on the project, I can't fail. Right? So Moses thinks, I better come up with a better excuse. All right, so excuse number 2. In verse 13, Moses said to God, "Suppose I go to the Israelites and say to them, 'The God of our fathers has sent me to you,' and they ask me, 'What is his name?' Then what do I tell them? What if I don't know what to say? You know? Surely they're not going to believe me." And God has an answer for that. God says, "Oh, no problem then. You're right. You've made a couple excuses. I'll send someone else." No. God says to Moses, "I am who I am, and this is what you are to say to the Israelites. I am has sent me to you." Now, I am means everything that you need. That Yahweh, that I am. So go to them and say, God says, "I am everything that you need to bring him out because he's here with me." That doesn't give me a lot of confidence. If somebody walked up to me and said, "Oh, by the way, I'm taking you to Hawaii," unless it's like, somebody who's rich, I guess. But, and I'm bringing 399,000, anyway, almost 1 million people, or 3 million something people with me as well. So I'm not allowed to come. But anyway, so God told him to say, everything that you need is coming. So Moses thinks about it, and he says, "Okay, good enough. I need to make another excuse." So he gives him a third excuse, and Moses answered, this is in 4:1, "What if they don't believe me or listen to me and say, 'The Lord did not appear to you'?" And that's kind of the typical one, right? That's the one we probably all get to eventually. What if they don't believe me? Because, I try to tell family or friends or whatever about God. I can see Moses saying that. And they might just say, "Yeah, right. You? I don't think so. You've messed up before, or you have this issue in your life or whatever. Surely God's not going to use you." And God turns to him and says,